All right, you guys have asked me for a full day in the life video, and I have tried to film this several times. And it is a complete failure. I have too many kids, too much going on to film my entire day. That is why a lot of the vlogs you see are like just a few hours of the day, like my morning routine, my night routine, you know, what homeschooling looks like, but I cannot do a full day. So I thought I'd walk you through it, and we'll put up some B-roll and some footage of what I'm referring to. So let me walk you through my day of what it's like as a mom of 6 who homeschools and, you know, makes these little YouTube videos too. If you're new here, what's up? My name's Chrissy Horton. I'm a mom of 6. I love to share all things pregnancy, postpartum, motherhood in general. We get real honest. We get real vulnerable here. So if that's your jam, make sure you like and subscribe, and let's get into it. Okay, so my day starts just hitting the ground running. I wish I could be that mom that got up at 5 a.m., did her devotionals, got her morning drink, got ready, got her makeup, got her dress on. I wish I could be that mom. I love watching those videos of those moms. They are an inspiration to me. Could never be me. Could never be me. Could never be me. I have tried. And you know what? Here's the thing though. Maybe one day I will be. But it is not the season for me right now. And this is the biggest thing I can tell you about motherhood. Motherhood comes in seasons, and it is not my season. You want to know why? I got a 9-month-old who doesn't sleep through the night, okay? I got a toddler who doesn't sleep through the night. I got a 3-year-old who likes to crawl into our bed at night as well. So that's the season I'm in, and I'm going to embrace it, because with that season, yeah, may not be the most productive in terms of what society says is productive, but I am in the season of just lots of snuggles and these little babies. And I have seen too many videos of people going up to older people and saying, if you could go back to any time in your life, what would it be? And they have all said, when my kids were little.
When they were young.
So I remember that. I'm like, you know what? This is the season I'm in. I'm going to embrace the season. I'm going to embrace each season as it comes. So I am not in the season of being productive mom. To those moms who have little ones and are productive, amen to you. That is amazing. We are all just built differently, and isn't that great? That makes us all unique and wonderful, and I'm not built that way. So my day does not start with me getting up before the kids. It starts getting up with the kids. Okay, our bedrooms are very close together. We have monitors on, and we can hear when the first kid wakes up. So usually when the first kid wakes up, which is usually the younger ones, my husband's just up out of bed, ready to go. He just hits the ground running immediately. But that is our alarm clock. Basically, mine and my husband's sleep is very interrupted throughout the night. You know, our baby doesn't sleep through the night. Our 2-year-old doesn't sleep through the night. And our 3-year-old, he does okay, but he still ends up in bed with us. So we are playing musical beds a lot throughout the night. So sleep is just not on our side these days. So productive mornings look a little different for us. Let's get back to the day, right? So I feel like I can't go into what the morning routine looks like without telling you what our nights look like. So since you have a little bit of an idea what our nights look like, our morning routines go like this. So my husband is the one to wake up with the first kid, and as the kids wake up, he's on morning duty. I have the baby who I'm up breastfeeding out throughout the night. She uses me as a human pacifier. She does not take a real pacifier. She's my first baby to not take a pacifier. So working on that one. I know some of you might be saying like, why do you sleep train? Why do you do that? And that's a video for another day. But also, given I'm just been doing this, I've had my babies back to back. I've just been in this season. It's kind of all I know. And I have found it harder because I did try to sleep train and do these things with the older ones when they were younger, and it was just very stressful for me, and it was very hard for me. And I have learned to like just lean into it and let it go, and just let each season as they come has just made me a more present and happy mom. And that has what worked for me. I know for some people the schedule works better for them. So we're all built differently, and we all have different ways in going about this. So anyways, that's why our nights look like that, and that's why our mornings look like this. But because I barely sleep, because I am constantly breastfeeding throughout the night, so my husband is the one who gets up with them. He does breakfast. He takes care of them, and he tries to make sure I can sleep as much as I possibly can before he has to start work. Then I roll out of bed and I will take about 5 to 10 minutes just to get ready in the morning and do this really small routine that really sets me up for my day for success. And it just involves brushing my teeth and just a small skincare routine. So I brush my teeth. I use these little wipes. I've been using them in my vlogs lately. I love them. They're like illuminating. And then I take a little bit of vitamin C oil and I gua sha. And while I'm gua shaing, and that's when I do my morning prayers. So that's when I do my devotionals and I hear the gospel. So a lot of you ask, like, how do you have time for prayers? this is when I do it. Those are my one-on-one prayers. And then we always do prayers as a family at night, which we'll get into in a minute. And then I go today. I don't get dressed. I'm done getting dressed every day because here's the thing. I have tried to get dressed and my clothes just end up really stained because I have all these little kids and I homeschool. I'm making every meal. We're home for every meal, right? Like it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner that are being made at home. The kids' hands have stuff all over them all the time. The little ones at least. So I kind of just got done getting dressed because my clothes were staining and I was sick of it and I like my clothes. So I stay in my pajamas. But I will say my pajamas, they could pass for like loungewear. It's usually a baggy sweater and some like baggy pants, not necessarily sweatpants, but just like lounge pants. I don't even know if that's like a thing. I love these pants though. I swear by them in postpartum. I will even link them down below because I love them so much. So I'm not like I'm wearing like flannel pajamas all day, but you know, they're a little scrubby.
It's pajamas.
Oh, I forgot to mention, I'm still usually with the baby. If Tim can, he'll take the baby if she's up and let me sleep. But for the most part, I wake up when the baby wakes up because we're catching up on sleep we didn't get the night before. So I bring the baby into the bathroom with me and then I do my whole morning routine with her either on my hip or she's playing at my feet on the ground. Then we come out and we usually try to have breakfast all together. Sometimes we go outside and we eat, which is really nice. Sometimes it's Tim and I standing at the counter while the kids eat. But either way, I do love when we get that time together as a family before our day really starts. It's not like that every day. Some days it's like I come in and, you know, Tim has a meeting, Tim has things to do and he's off and we just switch. But for the most part, we do get those mornings, which is really great. And how it used to go was Tim would go to his office and I would homeschool. And then like, that's what we were doing for the day was homeschool activities and everything. And Tim would come up periodically from the office and check in with us, help me with lunches, help me with nap times. But before Tim's business, it was all on me. I remember being pregnant with my fourth baby and having like 3 under 3. And just, I don't know how I got through it.
Your mom can do anything. She's super mom.
The homeschooling has gotten more serious as my kids have gotten older. And my social media has grown in this time too. So because of that, because I have this social media, which I know people like to speculate whether this is a real job or not, and that's fine. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that is very much a business that I have to run. So because of that, I do not have all day to homeschool the way I used to. I have to have dedicated work hours at some point every day, whether it's 2 hours or 1 hour, I need dedicated time. And I was having a hard time fitting homeschooling in before my work hours. And then my work hours would go to the wayside. And then I wasn't able to sustain this to the level I wanted to. And I really love doing this. I love it so much. It is such a great creative outlet for me. I've met so many wonderful people through it. I feel like I've learned a lot and I want to help new moms. That's just like my goal. I just want to help moms. And I didn't want to give it up. And so, you know, Tim and I talked. I was saying it's just getting really hard for me to be able to homeschool and take him to the activities and try to keep up my social media business. And so we decided it was time to get a mommy helper. And so that's what happened. So every day my mommy helper comes basically after breakfast and she's amazing. I love her and she is the village I really needed. Yes, I have family that lives close by, but I can't expect them to come over every day and help me with the kids and stuff. And so we hired a mommy helper. It's relatively new for me, but she's been amazing. I love her. She comes for about 4 hours. We just kind of up the hours, but 4 to 5 hours a day, 4 days a week. And she's there for me to support me during homeschool. So I can homeschool my kids and she can take the baby, she can take the baby and put the baby down for a nap and tend to my younger kids a bit if they have any questions. So I can just really focus in on homeschooling my children. Now, I don't want you to think the only way to homeschool your children is to have help like this, because that's not true. I have this business. And again, I know people want to speculate what kind of business an influencer has, but it's a straight up real business. There is a lot that goes on behind the scenes and I have to run it. So if I didn't have this, I think I would continue to homeschool without a mommy helper, but I don't know, man. I got like 4 kids, 5 and under. I think I might need help regardless. And to me, I'm like, you know what? If it's not a financial burden and I have access to it, why not? Why wouldn't I? Because what I love about her is it's not like she takes the kids and that's it. Oh, here's something that just happened the other day. I had a pretty long meeting. So I was in the meeting and I still had my kids all over me. It was a meeting with my team. So I had the kids all over me, but my mommy helper was here. So she was able to make lunch. So I'm able to continue with my day because there's only so many hours in the day, right? So I had to take this meeting. And if I had to do this on my own, take this meeting, and yeah, the kids were all over me, but lunch would have been postponed another hour. So that's where this comes in for me. It's not so much I'm handing off my kids to someone else. And not that there's anything wrong with a nanny, by the way. take the village. But I'm just trying to explain what my day looks like. So it's not that she takes them off. We're very much side by side, and she's really much there to help me and be an extra set of hands. So that is what my day looks like. So it's still, I always have a kid on my hip. I always have a kid on my arms in some capacity, but I have that extra help. And I want to be very transparent about that's how I'm able to fit as much as I can in the day. Like I said, I was able to take a meeting and lunch was still able to get done at the time it needed to get done because I had that help. So moving on. So then I homeschool. And again, I homeschool and it's not uninterrupted time. I mean, there is, my 2-year-old still wants me, the baby still wants me, I'm still breastfeeding, but I am able to focus a bit better because I have that extra help. So we homeschool from the hours, but I want to say 10 to 2 is how long we homeschool. And if you're curious, oh, that's not enough time to school, it is. I actually did a whole video on this and you can go check that out if you're interested. So from those times, I homeschool my 3rd grader, my 2nd grader, my kindergartner, and my preschooler. And my toddler totally joins in with the preschooler, and my preschooler totally joins in on the kindergarten lessons. So my younger ones are learning at a more rapid pace than my older ones because they have their older siblings to look up to and to sit in on these lessons with. So my older 2, I usually sit with them and I go back and forth with each of them, right? I teach the lesson and then they're doing independent work, and then I go over here and then we do the lesson, then they do independent work, and we kind of go back and forth. And then they have a few shared classes like science and geography. But with my kindergartner and my preschooler, again, it's one-on-one, but the little ones usually tend to join in. And even my older ones, they love to help teach that class. It's the sweetest thing. So we get that done. And in that time, it's homeschool and it's lunch and it's nap time. So this is where my mommy helper is, just my village. Again, I'm constrained for time because around 2:00 is when I start to work on my social media business, or that's when we have extracurriculars. So I really wanted to get homeschool done during this time. But before I had it was really difficult to get in during that time frame because I had to pause for naps and I had to lay with the kids and rock them to sleep and breastfeed and so everything was just getting delayed. So having her keeps me on track, which I need that time, again, because I'm running this business too. So then by 2:00, we stop homeschool and we homeschool outside. And even when the kids aren't working on stuff, they'll take little recess breaks and they'll go play outside. And depending on the day, each kid usually has extracurriculars. So my son has football practice on one day, my daughter has gymnastics on another day, my other son has baseball practice. And so they don't have activities every single day, but every single day I am taking someone to an activity. By 3:00 is when we need to start getting ready for all our extracurriculars, depending on who has something that day. That's usually when my mommy helper leaves, and then Tim comes in, and he's usually not necessarily done for the day, but he can be a little bit more flexible with his time. So then Tim will be home with whoever doesn't have activities and the little ones, and then I will take whoever has something going on to that activity. And that gives me this really great one-on-one time with them too. And then Tim and I will switch that. So sometimes Tim will take them and I will stay home, and those car rides and the time at practice and all these things, that gives us a lot of that one-on-one time with the older kids, which I think is really special. At that point is when I check in with my business. I check in with my team. I check in with my agent. I check in on social media. And so while they're warming up and doing all that, that's when I'm on my phone and I'm going through things. And then this is just practice. By the way, when it comes to their games, I am fully there looking at their games, but during practice is definitely when I get a lot of stuff done when I'm the one taking them. So that's when I will edit a video. I will, respond to emails. I will plan out things, take a call with my assistant. Okay, so since we're talking about my day, I guess I should introduce you to my team. So I have a talent agent, and that's who brands reach out to if they want to be featured on my page. So what they do is they reach out to her and they say, hey, we'd love for Chrissy to make a video and work with us. And then my agent will come to me like, this is the brand. Is this something you use? Is this something you love? Is this something you would recommend? And for most, I'm at this point now where it's just brands that I already use who are approaching me. If it's a brand I have never heard of, the deal is they need to send me the product and I need to have some time with it before we agree to anything. So my agent is the one who deals with all that though. And then I have a project manager, and this is all through my agency, by the way. So then my project manager is the one that once the contract's signed, she's like, okay, it's due this day. These are the deliverables they want. She makes my calendar for posting, and they deal with all the brands. And then I have a virtual assistant, and she's someone where I say like, hey, I have these brand partnerships and I have all this organic content I want to get up. Can you help put it in my calendar? I have an Amazon storefront, so she takes care of my Amazon storefront. So I'll be like, hey, I just bought this. I love it. Here's a picture of it. Can you share it on my Amazon storefront? And she manages my emails, and she will sometimes correspond with my project manager and my talent agent on certain tasks that need to get done. So I have a team, y'all. I have a team. I am not doing this by myself.
I am not alone.
On top of that, I have my mommy helper. And on top of that, I have house cleaners. Yes, I have house cleaners that come twice a month. And they do this, the big stuff, right? The bathrooms, the floors. Tim and I are the ones tidying up, doing our laundry, making sure the house is clean on a day-to-day basis. But the house cleaners are the ones scrubbing the toilets, scrubbing the bathtub. I don't think about that stuff anymore. So I need to be so transparent. It is my goal to be so transparent with you that I have a team. Okay. So when it comes to social media, I have a team. I still do a ton of stuff for social media. There's still a lot that goes right on me. Oh my gosh. How could I forget? Because they're new and they're so wonderful. These wonderful YouTube videos you're seeing, I have an editing team. But that's very new for me. And that's been very exciting. Actually, it's how I'm able to do long form because I did hire an editing team because I couldn't do long form. I just didn't have the capacity to edit long form videos. And so I hired an editing team and that's why these videos look so flipping good. But my editing team edits all the long form videos, but I edit all my shorts. So that series you're seeing, that's all me. I've been having so much fun with that, by the way. So anyways, that's a little bit of like a day of my life on the business side of it. So I get a lot of that stuff done during their practices, and then I'll usually stop so I can catch like the last 20 minutes of their practice or something. And then I come home and a lot of times I get my editing done for my shorts when I'm breastfeeding too. So when I'm breastfeeding, that's usually when I'm editing videos. Then we come home and usually Tim has dinner started or I have dinner started depending on whoever took the person to their activity. And then I come home and then I breastfeed and then that's usually when I post. So that's when I'll post to my TikTok, my Instagram, and that's when I'll post and engage with the comments and, make my stories and everything. So it's usually all on the go when I am work. It's really hard for me to have set office hours. I would love that, but I don't know when. When would I get those? If someone has a magical answer, let me know. Because I have a lot of kids and a lot of activities and that's just how it goes. And then I want to say like around 6 o'clock is when we eat dinner. We eat dinner and that's family time. I really try not to work during that time, but it just depends on what's going on. If it's a busy season, I will probably continue working. And I'll probably continue working till like 7-ish. And then it's family time. I really try to make a point to like keep my phone away. And it's just family time. And that's when we do our whole nighttime routine. We're cleaning up the kitchen. We're doing baths. We're brushing teeth. We're reading stories. We're doing our prayers. We're doing our tuck-ins. Like we tuck in each kid individually. That's another way we get a lot of one-on-one time. So that routine, it's long. Our kids, people don't like this. Our kids go to bed like around 10 p.m. Sometimes later. But that's just kind of how long it takes because we're pretty adamant about that time spent with them at night. And if they ask, can you lay down with me? Can you sit with me? We're not going to say no. We're not going to say no. So anyways, it just takes a while. But, our schedules do allow it. We don't have to be up at like the crack of dawn. We don't have to be at school at a certain time. So our schedules do allow this flexibility at night. And that's why we're loosey-goosey with the nighttime schedule. But it is just that sacred family time for us. And that's just what works in our family. So the kids go to bed. And even then it's like, sometimes the toddler doesn't go to bed right away or the baby's up a lot. So Tim and I don't get a lot of one-on-one time the way we used to, but that's how it always is when you have a baby, right? That's just how it is when you have a little baby that doesn't have the most consistent sleep schedule. That's on us probably, why they don't have a consistent sleep schedule, but it is what it is. Tim and I find a lot of pockets of time throughout the day, especially because he works from home, and we try to be very intentional about it. So like when we find ourselves both in the kitchen and the kids are playing and everyone's happy and they don't really need our attention at that moment in time, like we have eyes on them, of course, but they're not demanding our attention, like talking to you. That's when we make sure our phones are down and we just have a good conversation, and we get a lot of pockets of that throughout the day. So I think that's important. And I think it's just about being intentional with the time you have. You don't necessarily need to carve out all this time to grow closer together. It's about being intentional with the time you do have. And Tim and I have not gone on a date, I think like since this baby has been born, and I still feel like closer than ever with him. And I think again, that comes down to just being intentional with the time we do have. So then by the time all the kids go to sleep, by the time they all go to sleep, it's usually probably like 11 some nights. It's so late. Hence why we're all late risers. And then Tim and I are night shower people. And so we shower at night. Oh, I forgot to say, yeah, I do work out. Tim works out during his like work time. So while he's down in his office, we have like a detached office. He'll work out during then. And then when we get home from the activities, that's usually when I work out. I have a walking pad and I do 10% inclined, 3 miles per hour for 30 minutes. It is quite the workout. And I get work done on that too. So I'm on the treadmill, doing my work on that. So I work when I can. And so I do that. And then we go into the nighttime routine, or I'll go to a workout class and how I've been able to go to a workout class is I will bring my kids with me. So they'll have their activity, then we'll go to my workout class, and my workout class has childcare. And so they'll come with me and I'll go work out for an hour and then we'll come out. So then it's like 11 o'clock, sometimes 12 if we like fall asleep with the kids, which happens quite a bit. And then we do our nighttime routine and we take turns. Either someone's holding the baby while the other person showers and then vice versa. And then sometimes I'm just wild and feel like I didn't get enough time to myself. So I'll stay up till 1 in the frickin' morning, maybe 2. I said it. I admitted it out loud. Yes, that is me sometimes. And that's how I get my me time. That is the schedule of my life. I know part of me just needs to like break the bad habit of staying up late and just go to bed earlier and then maybe I can wake up earlier. But then a part of me is like, no, because I'm still gonna get woken up so much at night. Like, what's the point? Might as well just stay up late and not get woken up as much, if that logic makes any sense. So anyways, that's my routine. It's not the most glamorous, but it's filled with so much love and I wouldn't trade it for anything. This video was a little bit out of my norm. This one was more about me, but you guys have been asking about this one, so I wanted to share in case anyone was interested. But I love doing these honest, vulnerable talks. I'm sure I'm not the only mom intentionally staying up till 2 in the morning. I think it's called something like procrastination redemption or something like that, where it's just you didn't feel like you had enough hours in the day, so you're making up for those hours while everyone's sleeping. But if you find these talks relatable and you like them, I can keep doing them. Leave a comment, make sure you subscribe and like, and I'll see you around.